Tired of the same old radio talk show? There is an alternative. This is GONZO Radio.
The insanity of Monday night. Let me turn off the reverb right there. Welcome to the GONZO Radio Show, the GONZO Radio Podcast, the GONZO. So let's just call it GONZO Radio, because everybody's hung up on the labels of show, podcast, TV show. It's just the GONZO Radio Show. Hi, I'm Big Daddy Gonzo. I'm going to bring the lower third graphics back. I used to do the lower third banners before, and I'm going to do them again. Actually, I'm going to start doing them again because I feel kind of lazy in the run up to the show, and I end up with a couple. It's like, why do I have a couple of hours of free time during the day after I've written everything? Oh, it's because I'm not grinding away on the lower thirds. We got a lot of fun stuff for you. We've got a very we've got a saucy RUFKM. It's very saucy, and sorry for those of you out there who go, sports. Yes, the GONZO Radio Network is a little sportsy-oriented because it's a little man-oriented, although we are about to get a big, huge boost in estrogen with an upcoming show called The Broadcast Podcast, which you'll get to see soon enough. But spoiler alert, the ladies are coming. But RUFKM will feature some ladies. It will be ladies' night. A few ladies out there. But that's not the main event. That's not what's going down tonight. Tonight, seated across from me at 6 feet 7 inches tall from the University of... Did you play college basketball at all?
I did at a Penn State branch campus.
Okay. From the University of Pennsylvania or Penn State University, Mr. Dan Long.
Yeah, thanks.
Canned applause here.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome to the show, brother. I'm really, really happy to have you here. I've caught your act a couple of times, actually a couple of different sets, which bravo, because when you go to a lot of comedy shows in South Florida, sometimes you see the same 5 to 10 minutes out of the same comics, and it's like, oh, look, drinks. That's why they're at bars. Yeah. But you have been on the GONZO Radio hit list for a little bit.
Oh, well, thank you.
That's why I stalked you and chased you down. So, but welcome to the show. How do you like it? Is it nice? I clean.
It's great. I thought when you were doing the estrogen plug, that was for me at first.
No.
We're gonna get an estrogen plug with Dan Long. So
no.
I appreciate you for not
and the
roasting.
The beard is new. I like that. You did the beard for Halloween.
Yes, I was the Undertaker. I went as the Undertaker. I had to grow this out for a while, and now I have to wear it until Thursday. And like my wife like won't be seen with me now. She's like, that's awful. She's like, I can't look at you.
You look like a criminal.
Yeah,
but you look like some sort of guy riding on the back of a bike.
But I really had a lot of success with it because like I always do costumes that are tall themed. Mm-hmm. Like when I was in college, I was like King Xerxes, and I get like super into my costumes. Like I
Did
shaved.
You put in like the 1,000 piercings, King Xerxes? That's crazy.
Well, fake piercings. I had like a fake nose piercing. Like I wore jewelry. I shaved my head and body like hairless.
Oh,
completely bald.
You committed.
Yeah, and this was in Pennsylvania too, so it was freezing. Oh. And I've done Woody. I did the Statue of Liberty a few years ago, which was a big hit. Like I was in downtown Fort Lauderdale, and every so often I would just stop and do the pose, and people would just surround me and take pictures like the actual Statue of Liberty.
See, at that juncture, you have to have a little card and hold it up, and it's got to give like your social media addresses or something.
I should have.
Follow me at Dan Long Comedy.
I wish I would have had the wherewithal to do that at the time, but I didn't.
Well, self-promotion, you're not enough of a self-promoting whore yet. That's what it is. You still have your integrity.
Not yet. It's coming.
It is coming. But I've dragged you here for several purposes, but one such purpose is to do the 7 deadly questions, which we will do after the break.
Okay.
A break which contains your bit on selling a car on Craigslist.
Oh, okay.
which was practically long form haiku, which I thought was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Here's where I heap effusive praise on you, because you are one of the better timing based comics. You have a rhythm, and it's an undeniable rhythm. And you're really, really good at it. I'm just, okay, so there, I'm done kissing your ass.
No, I appreciate that. It took a while to get to that point where I could slow it down a little bit, like, because I always knew that I needed to. But, when you're up there, part of the thing is, like, you kind of want to rush because your brain's like, oh, my God.
Get it out of your mouth before it gets out of your head.
Yeah, but then you're going to be like, okay, let the laughter stop, then go.
Right. Feel the crowd.
Yeah.
Feel the crowd. Yeah.
Hold it.
My most of my crowd experience comes from being an MC, so it's like I come out, I tell like 2 jokes, and then I introduce people, and then maybe I'll tell one more off the cuff joke later on between acts. I'll work the crowd. Working the crowd was the main part of it. Hi, how you doing? Where you're from? Hey, what's your name, sir? Blah 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 blah. You do the little work there, but
making them listen.
Oh, but the timing thing, because I took Mike Banzica's class and did a half a dozen open mics and did a couple of feature shows and did his feature deal, and not as a feature, but a couple of shows where as part of a crew.
Right.
And I struggled with timing, and everybody's like, dude, you've been on stage 6 times. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's like 10,000 hours. What do you mean 10,000 hours? Yeah, 10,000 hours. You got to be on stage for forever before you get it. How long have you been on stage?
I've been doing this a little over 7 years now. I started in Pennsylvania. Like, I started in college, like when I was at Penn State. Did it for maybe about 9 months to a year. Then, like, graduated and got like a job where I made no money at a newspaper. So, like, I couldn't really travel anywhere to go do it.
So you were a journalist?
Yes, I was a journalist. Yes, I was a journalist. And then eventually I was like, I got to get back into this. So I started driving to Pittsburgh and doing the mics, and then eventually got on some local showcases, and then moved down here. I've been down here about a little over 5 years and started doing it as soon as I got down here. I didn't really take a break from when I was doing it in PA. So a little over 7 years.
You like how the scene has grown over the last 5 years?
It's changed a little bit. I feel like it's changed where, I don't know if there's just like less people doing it, but like I remember when I used to go to some of the mics when I would get down here, and there'd be like people, like we'd all be like rushing to like put our names down on to like get on these spots, and I feel like it's just not quite like that as much anymore. Like either people were just reaching out beforehand, or people just don't care as much about like getting up on the mics. But I remember I used to do like Hurricanes and Holloways. We'd all be like scrambling to hit up, like with like Matt Bellick or John Hine, whoever was hosting, to get on the spots. And I was like, I feel like I don't see that as much. Like people like just scrambling to get on the mics like they used to.
Well, the thing that I noticed, because I've been in and around the scene probably for about, going on 10, 12 years. No, 15 years. Like I remember Little Richie Lala, Richie Lease. Yeah, I remember Richie Lala and Flip Schultz. They were locals.
Yeah, I've never met Flip. I know the name, but I don't know him. Obviously, know Richie.
Flip is another one of those masters of timing. He's got Flip Schultz, and he's got himself, and he's another one that's just like.
Yeah,
he's just like jazz. He just like gets it down and gets it going. But the thing that I've seen that's changed is, like you said, the sense of community has gotten tighter.
Yeah.
Okay. There's more of a core of comics who all know each other, see each other at the mics all the time, and everything like that.
Right.
And the fringe players, they try to phone it in. That's the reason why you're seeing a lot of open mic advertisements of sign up start at, no call-ins,
right?
No emails, no texting it in. You got to come here and sign up, because the purpose of the mic is to get people in. Whether 100%. It be the comics or the comics and their friends. And some of these comics, all they want to do is show up, go, hey, how you doing? When am I on? Okay, I'll be outside. Go outside and text their girlfriend and wait for their. Am I up? Yeah. Okay. They go. They do the thing and they leave.
Yeah, leave immediately.
Antisocial.
After. Yeah.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. And
Yeah, and that kind of sucks some of the fun out of it. And not that I'm never guilty of that, because some nights if I'm doing multiple mics, I'll have a night where I'm just kind of in and out. But I try not to do that.
You go so far as to tell whoever's hosting, hey, listen, I got a mic right after this. Can you get me in as soon as you can?
Yeah, and I used to do that with like Marine 84. I would go up first, but get there early because I would then hit Dada as well. Back when they were doing the Marine 84 mic,
right?
Because I could always hit two. But yeah, I mean, Florida's good in that way that I think that it is more supportive, than maybe some other scenes. Because I've been out to LA before and done like some, showcases and stuff out there. And the grind seems so intense sometimes out in LA that you just feel like no one's even enjoying it.
Yeah. Ask Richie. Richie will tell you. Richie told the story here.
Yeah, like we would do like these showcases and guys are going there and they don't drink at all, because like they're hitting so many places. Like they're walking in and doing the showcase, immediately walking off stage, going to their car and then driving to the next one. They like didn't even talk to any of the other comics there. And it's like, I get it that this is like, it's competitive and you want to be successful, but man, you got to enjoy the process when you're doing it or it's just terrible, So it was intense.
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I completely agree. I ran into who was it? Was it Matt Derndak? Yeah, I think I ran into. It was Matt that I met. I met him at Artful Dodger, and he was like, "Hey, yeah, I'd love to stay and talk, but I gotta go. I'm going to another mic."
Yeah,
and I was like, I want to talk to you. I want to have you on my show. You're fucking hilarious, And he was gone. He was out the door. So, and I asked. I said, "Is that guy blowing me off?"
Yeah.
Like Brian Coronado, and Brian was like, "No, he does that. He'll go to 5 mics in a night."
Yeah, he does.
He'll do 5 mics in a night. And I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, he's pretty dedicated to it because we hit him up when we were in LA. During like our wedding trip, we were out in LA. And, it was like during the day, but they have those, in LA. He's hitting up mics at like 3 and 4. And like, we didn't even see him because he's like hitting up mics and stuff. And it was like the day before a holiday and stuff too.
Wow. So. Daywalker comedy.
Yeah.
It's like,
it has to be terrible. Like for one, who's going to watch that? And two, like,
what kind of drunk freak at 3 o'clock in the afternoon is there to watch comedy?
Yeah,
it's probably the same 5 people every day too. Like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah. Well, and there's sometimes you think like, is this better than just rehearsing this in front of the mirror? Like, is this necessarily better right now than me doing this? Like, I don't know.
I will say this, okay? In the time and in my experience in rehearsing anything, whether it was professional wrestling or music or whatever, the repetition worked really well for me.
Yeah.
Okay, what little timing and grasp of the timing that I had and that I gained a lot. By the time I got to my first showcase set, I had some semblance of timing. At least I was getting it out, and I was able to riff.
Yeah.
I was able to I'd catch somebody saying something, and I'd riff off of that, bing, bang, boom. I'd riff off my own shit. I'm like, ooh, that was good. I got to write that down.
Yeah.
Do you ever do that? You think of something, you're like, shit, I got to write that down. That was
yeah, 100%. That's why I'll record it too when I'm up there. I'll just hit record on the phone and it's like, man, I didn't even think of that. That's half the times why you go and repeat shit at the mics because you're like, oh man, I might come up with something new for this.
Yeah,
so.
Oh yeah. That's why I tell every performer, no matter what they do, even if if they sing karaoke, and I ask them, I say, you sing karaoke at least once a week? And they'll be like, no, 2 or 3 times. I'm like, yeah, you really like it, huh? You really like to perform, huh? Yeah, record it one time.
Yeah,
record it. See what you can do. See what minor changes you can make to make it better.
Yeah,
and of course, every comic. Like we had Giovanni Neal on here last week, and she went out and did the show. Casey Conley's got a show at 26 Degree Brewing.
Oh, I've done it. Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Yeah, the high ceilings drive me crazy though because the acoustics are nuts. But
they were high ceilings, but like there was a ton of people there. I mean, the place when we did it was months ago. Was
Tuesday night.
Packed. Yeah, it was packed out.
She does a good job of promoting though.
Yeah.
She really does.
Yeah,
she really does. She's got a nice following. That's great. But I told Giovanni, I said, "Are you recording it?" Are you recording it? I ask every one of them, are you recording
Yeah.
it? You should record every second of every performance you ever do. Even if you never play it, you don't put it on YouTube or anything.
Right.
Record that shit and look at it. Just don't be afraid. Don't let your ego get to you to where you don't want to self-criticize.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you just can't. I mean, because
It's the only way. It's the only way.
It's the only way you improve and evolve.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's painful sometimes. Like, there'd be days, you go to a mic and it's awful, and I'd like have to make myself listen to it. And I was like, oh God, I have to relive this horror again. But like, I got to know what went wrong.
Go to the New Times and apply for a job. Oh God. Yeah. And it's like, maybe this isn't for me.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, I tell you, and but you don't want to go apply for McDonald's unless you can really, throw a good blender.
Yeah.
Have you seen that video yet?
No. Oh wait, no. Yes, I have. Oh. My wife showed it to me where the
awesome.
lady comes in and throws the Happy Meal bag,
right.
and then she throws the blender. I didn't realize what she threw, because I thought the lady was like faking it that fell over at first. Now my wife was like, no, she got hit by a blender.
Right in the
then it
face.
showed the picture. Her face was all jacked up.
Well, there's been a few developments, and I know that some of our fans. I haven't logged on to our chat room yet, but I know that some of the fans, at least the few fans that watch live, they're totally expecting me to do the video clip and the story about this.
Right.
And I'm not going to, only by virtue of the fact that it's what they expect of me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like I do the unexpected. Haha. So one thing that I have that is, hey, look, Frankie's in the chat room. Okay, Brooklyn Monster in the house. For our RUFKM segment, which is Are You Fucking Kidding Me? It's sports oriented.
Okay.
Are you a sports guy?
I am.
You are a sports guy, of course. You're 6'7". You're at least a basketball guy or a volleyball
I'm
guy.
I'm a big NBA guy. NFL, I watch quite a bit of NBA. I watch the most of.
Oh well, football's ruined. The Patriots going to win the Super Bowl again. Blah. Eagles fan?
No, I was born in Pittsburgh. I'm a Steelers fan.
Oh,
yeah.
And I'm a Dolphin fan. And you're here, and they're playing
right.
now.
How dedicated are we to the craft of radio?
Yeah. It's just because they both suck.
Yeah, they do.
It's a down year.
Yeah.
We'll find something else to do. Monday Night Football. They've played on Monday Night Football like 17 times?
Yeah. Why are they giving them that slot? I mean, that could have gone to anything else. That
I think
is
they
Dancing with the Stars not on?
I think they decided who they were going to have on the schedule. They did it preseason.
That's true.
So they probably had no inkling that the Dolphins were going to pull off a complete fire sale.
Yeah.
They had no inkling that, okay, well, the Dolphins are going to be, they're going to be okay as long as they keep all the stars that they have, all the good players they have. They should be okay. Maybe they'll be, they won't be a complete basket case. Oh, no, we're going to get rid of those guys. We're going for basket case. That's what we were looking for.
Yeah, nobody could have predicted just how bad they are. And, it has got to the point where to watch them, it is almost, comically bad, which just, they just don't do anything right. They just don't miss, 3 field goals,
right.
It's, they went for that 2-point conversion to go for the win.
Whoops, dropped it.
Yeah, which I thought was a good call to go for it, because it's why leave the game to a coin flip?
Exactly.
It's like you have it in your hands now, but then they ran world's worst. I don't know if it was a screen pass or what it was, but it was
a horrible, horrible screen pass.
Yeah, it was.
It was sort of poetic that they didn't win that game, because they should have won that game.
Yeah.
And they have shown improvement. They were very competitive with the Bills.
Yep.
Until they got silly late. But they've shown progress.
Yeah.
They've shown development, which is scary. You don't want them to get too good, because you don't want to win more than 2 games.
No.
You don't.
Then you're not going to get anything in the draft then.
And quite frankly, the Steelers, although they might beat the Dolphins, this is an opportunity to catch a team and maybe beat them on a Monday night. They've got this development. They've got this progress that they're making. Maybe that progress is they pull one out of their ass on a Monday night. Who knows? I just watch and go, okay, how you doing? I'm waiting for the draft next year.
Right.
They just traded Kenyon Drake. This afternoon, they just traded him for a 6th round, conditional 5th round pick.
You traded someone to us too.
To Arizona. They said, who else? What? They traded somebody else?
Yeah, that you guys traded someone to us on defense.
To the Steelers. Oh, that was Minka Fitzpatrick. That was
Yeah.
last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets his, quote, revenge game tonight.
Right.
It's fine. Get all the revenge you want, kid. I'm sad to see him go. I'm sad to see him go. I really liked him. I liked all our Alabama guys. You know, and I'm not a big Crimson Tide fan, but I liked all our Alabama guys.
I don't watch. See, the weird thing is, I watch almost no college football, so I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
Because I can't watch. I can't spend 2 weekend days watching football. It's too much. It's like Sunday is enough. I spend enough time on it Sunday. I was like, I can't dedicate my Saturday to football as well.
Look, I watch college football casually.
Yeah.
In other words, I'll sit down and I'll watch the first quarter, maybe even the first half. But halftime comes, I jump up and I start doing stuff because it's Saturday. Saturday is a do shit day.
Right.
So you start to do something, you come back and you check on them.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, yeah. And then you do your other thing, you finish your other thing, you stop, and you take a break after an hour or so. Oh, look, the game's still on. It's like the middle of the fourth quarter. You watch the rest of the game. You watch casually unless it's a big game. Like the Hurricanes are playing FSU, whom I despise.
Yeah.
So
why do you despise FSU?
I despise FSU because they were interlopers in the 80s. They used to what we'd like to call traveled well.
Yeah.
In the 80s, so they invaded the stadium. Plus, there's a lot of FSU students, alums that live around here, and graduates that live around here.
Yeah.
So you know, and it was always fun. The rivalry was always fun. It was always good to needle them a little bit. Yeah, wide right, wide left. Yeah.
There is a much more deep-rooted hatred in college football, which I do appreciate. I think more so maybe than the NFL. I mean, I'm a Penn State grad, so I know.
Oh, okay. So Pitt can go fuck themselves.
Yeah.
It's like Penn State, fuck Pitt.
Yeah. Well, Ohio State, we hate Ohio State.
Oh yeah, of course, everybody hates Ohio State.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
But I mean, obviously, everybody hates Penn State. Well, I don't know if people do people still hate Penn State as much, given what happened, or has
we feel bad for them.
Yeah,
we feel bad for them because that whole Joe Paterno thing went really, really bad, really, really fast.
Yeah,
right there at the end, and you guys had Bill O'Brien come in and kind of save the program.
Yeah,
he was a literal savior of the program. And then you guys were able to build it back up from there, and that's fine.
Yeah, and I want to understand they're very good.
College Park was going to be back, so
yeah, right.
We knew you guys were going to be back. But this particular segment deals with baseball.
Okay.
Of course, the World Series is in full effect right now. Do you have a horse in that race? Do you care?
I don't watch much baseball. I'll go to a Marlins game every once in a while.
For the food?
For the food.
The peace and quiet?
You can sit anywhere you like.
Right.
I sat on the field one time. I didn't notice.
Well, you're a married guy, so you don't notice the hot Cuban chick booty all over the place either. But there's a lot of hot girls that go to.
I've read that it is there, but no, I've never seen it.
Same with Miami Heat games. You're there for the basketball. I totally understand.
Yeah.
But I always have a sore neck when I come back from a game like that, especially if I'm sitting down low. Because not only do you watch the game go side to side like this, but as the girls walk up the steps,
yeah,
and your neck isn't supposed to go that far.
Right, it's like, hey, oh wow, thank you for coming at halftime.
Yes.
And then,
oh yeah,
then leaving halfway through the third quarter.
Oh, you got to pee again. Oh, enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but no, this has to do with baseball. It has to do with the World Series.
Okay.
Are you aware that last night's World Series came with a little brief nudity?
No.
Yes.
How did I miss that? No.
There was a little brief nudity. Well, I can't necessarily show you because you don't have a monitor, but the
just describe the part.
There was actually I'm gonna play the clip actually and let the fans decide for themselves whether this is brief or full on nudity.
Two strikes on Zimmerman's been.
Not one, but two girls flashing starting pitcher Garrett Cole of the Houston Astros. They were in Washington, D.C. last night. Game 5? Yeah, game 5 of the World Series. And being me, being the guy that I am in the various industries in which I make my livings, my money, I have to say yay, because they were really nice boobs.
Okay.
And I felt it to be my duty to get to the bottom of this. And that's the subject of tonight's RUFKM.
Are you fucking kidding
Are
me?
you FKM?
Fucking kidding me?
Actually, no, I'm not kidding you. Because as of, and I'm just, I got to tell you, I love this. I love it to death because baseball, like you alliterated to, can be friggin' boring.
Yeah.
There's a lot you can do. But what we have here is a situation where a pair of enterprising young ladies decided to take it upon themselves to make a stand, make a statement. And they were both the founder of Shag Mag magazine, Julia Rose,
Right.
and her brand executive, Lauren Summer.
Long-time subscriber.
Those exactly, long-time subscriber, first-time caller. They have been banned indefinitely by Major League Baseball after they flashed Astros pitcher Garrett Cole during Game 5 of the World Series last night. Talking to social media earlier today, Rose and Summer shared the letter they received, which noted a violation of rules of fan conduct.
Yeah.
Oops. Now, these classy young ladies, and I will say this, they're healthy. They're very well proportioned. They're in good shape. During the game, the letter went on to say, during the game, you violated the fan code of conduct by exposing yourself during the 7th inning in order to promote a business. It appears the women were promoting breast cancer awareness.
Okay.
Now, I don't have a problem with that. I have absolutely positively no problem with that whatsoever.
It could be the new standard.
I mean, you look at these pictures, they I'm sure that they're serious about breast cancer awareness.
Right. Here's the thing that's
I mean, very serious.
That's a little bit of a double standard. Are they like getting arrested? Are they doing jail time for indecent exposure? Or are they just
no
banned?
criminal charges have been filed so far.
See, here's the thing: is that if I were at that game and when he's pitching, if I whip my dick out, I'm going to prison. You know,
or at least jail.
Yeah. Like something's happening. You know, but if you pull out your titties, I mean, I'm okay with the double standard, but there is one.
Right. I mean, it you know, and if I did, there would be some laughter, and then they would throw me out. Maybe like people would go like, it's like a penis, only smaller. But it really speaks to me. Wait, I've got to get this last picture back on because you know it speaks to me.
Yeah.
That to me says, okay, I'm going to be more aware about breast cancer. And you can't see this, which once again I wish I had them on. Actually, you can.
Yeah, we can look at titties later.
That's what's over my face right now. So
Okay, could you see the titties live, like, or did they blur them out? Was it like
no?
tape
They
delay?
the titties were live.
That's cool. Well, like I think about
They were
like,
live.
Oh, nice.
They
Because
were live on national TV live.
well, like I think about with baseball is like, you know, you think about baseball when you want to slow down during sex, but like if I'm thinking about additional titties now, like that ain't gonna help. You know, like
Yep, that's true. And
you can't make baseball sexy, or else what else are you gonna think about?
right.
You know,
Garrett Cole is he is a healthy, rich young man.
yeah,
I'm sure he's already got a hot girlfriend, but that would be a little distracting.
yeah.
You know, considering the fact that they were fairly perfect boobs as well.
So you're saying they're good boobs?
Yeah, there wasn't pancake floppers or anything like that, or
Right.
or torpedoes. Those
Well, hey,
were,
that's the Shag magazine standard that
Shag
we've
Mag.
all grown accustomed to.
and we all have to maintain our standards.
Yeah.
It's always good. Okay, well that's your RUFKM for this week.
All right.
And I guess the theme of that RUFKM would be the opposite way. What do you mean you're going to ban them? They should be on a tour of all Major League Baseball stadiums.
Yeah.
They made baseball interesting.
Yeah, bring them to Little League.
I love it.
Yeah.
College World Series.
Yeah.
Who needs to hear that aluminum bat crap anymore? Tink. Oh, hey. Ball's over there. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So, college girls can participate.
Yeah.
Especially if you're over the age of 18.
Yeah.
No minors.
That's the perfect age.
It's a perfect age for perfect boobs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our RUFKM. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back, and I'm going to grill Mr. Dan Long with the 7 Deadly Questions on the Gonzo Radio Show coming up right after this.
All right, I'm going to wrap this up here with one last thing. Has anybody here ever had to sell a car on Craigslist before? Anybody? Nightmare, right? It's a great website, like, for getting stabbed. Like, other than that, it's not that useful. I had a 2004 Dodge Stratus that was like one speed bump away from collapsing. Nothing was working on it. It was in terrible shape, but I'm going to read to you guys, because I'm a salesy guy, I'm going to read you guys the ad I put together. We'll see if you like it. Are you tired of being alive all the time? Never felt the rush of being in a car crash? Think working brakes are for pussies? Then the 2004 Dodge Stratus might just be for you. It has not one, not two, but 3 working windows. Feel the calm breeze from the partially open passenger door. Getting too hot? Not a problem for an air conditioning unit that keeps the car at an Arctic 80 degrees. If you call right now, you can get it for the low cost of just get it the fuck off my property. The 2004 Dodge Stratus. Let's die together.
Gonzo Radio. Gonzo Radio.
I'd like to sell my 1980 Ford Futura on Craigslist. I think that car should have come with mandatory tetanus shots, though.
Yeah.
Or at least a card with a punch card, and you get your 10th tetanus shot free. because there was so much rust and it's such a shitty car.
Was it exposed rust?
Yes,
Like sitting on the
everywhere, in
rust?
all kinds of different places too. Especially the trunk. The trunk was a death trap.
Yeah.
So I never even went in the trunk. All the trunk had was one shitty spare tire, and if I got a flat tire, fuck it, I'm walking because I'm not changing that tire.
Yeah.
I don't want to die.
No, not worth it. That's why I see you're missing a few fingers. So
Yeah. So now that bit you did, I'm sure it's directly from real life. I'm sure
it was a brief ad that I had put up. Didn't get, how you say, a lot of traction.
Right.
But I put it up because it's very true. That car was in terrible shape.
Just take it away. Get it the fuck away from me.
Yeah, it was so bad when I took it to the dealership to exchange it. The guy was like, I have to, obviously it's a dealership. He's like, I want to get you out of this, but he's like, this is a safety concern because
it's a safety hazard.
Yeah, the belts were showing on the tires.
Nice.
Because which I didn't even know that could happen, but like it just didn't. I didn't pay attention to it, and like I brought it from Pennsylvania, and the bottom rusted so bad that like the back would fill up with water sometimes.
Road salt.
Yeah, the salt, like it like wore holes in it, and like water would go into the back, and like I had people in the back. I'd be like, don't sit on the puddle side. I'd say go. There was like tadpoles and shit in it because it would like just sit there stagnant, and baby mosquitoes.
You were pushing Florida man status on that one. That's a Florida man thing right there.
Yeah. It was every speed bump you just say Hail Mary.
Got your fingers crossed. No.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, God, I love cars. That's the reason why now, whenever I can, I buy a new one. Everybody's like, don't buy a new car. I'm like, why don't you go fuck yourself?
Yeah.
I like to drive something I know I can get in and drive every time. A time was like, so what if I pay $500 a month for it? Whatever. It's nice.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's worth it.
It's worth it.
My car now is roughly no better. It's a 04 Camry, and it shakes every time you hit the brakes. The check engine light's been on for 2 years, but I don't have a payment on it anymore. So
it's a Toyota.
Yeah, that's what everyone says. It'll run forever until
it runs on regular gas. Yeah. regular unleaded.
87.
That's crazy. I couldn't do it. I tried to put it in. I have a Chevy truck, a 2019. Yeah. It's a new truck, and the guy's like, yeah, put regular gas in it. I put regular gas in it. He filled up the tank. Gee, thanks.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I don't think so. And I checked the owner's manual, and they're like, yeah, you can put 93 in it if you want.
Could I put 89 in mine? I don't know how that works.
It may actually make it run better because I changed from the 87 to the 89, and there was actually a noticeable difference.
Oh, I didn't. I never really even thought. Somebody asked me one time, "You want me to put 89?" And I'm like, "What am I, Elon Musk? Like, I don't have that 80.
Fancy?
I don't have 89 money. I mean,
mid-grade unleaded money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say you need to check out a whole new credit card for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are, second segment, and this is where I like to rake my guests over the coals of a little something called the 7 Deadly Questions, which the intro is right here. Yeah, no fancy music, just hammer 7 Deadly Questions. Are you ready for the 7 Deadly Questions? I did not give you advance notice because I feel that you might have a quick enough wit for this. But they are based on the 7 Deadly Questions, which are lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I've seen the film.
You've seen the film. Okay,
yeah.
Good. So we'll just start right off with number 1, lust. Is your wife watching?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you had a hall pass, okay, who is your hall pass? Who is the hall pass that anybody in the world that you could sleep with? Who would be your hall pass?
Does it have to be a person?
It can be an animated. I have gotten the craziest answers.
I've always wanted to fuck
man, woman, dead, alive.
Yeah, I've always wanted to fuck Air Bud. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want. I don't want it to be an animal.
That's too many basketball movies when you were a kid.
Yeah. No. Okay. So hall pass. Let me think here. So, all right, in a world where my wife has passed, I've grieved for several years.
Okay, set Shiva.
Yeah, and enough time has passed. You know, what I really liked in the day, a little older now, was Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, Kate Upton. I like a good titty. We talked about it earlier.
Kate Upton, a baseball wife, married to Justin Verlander.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Aha.
Wow.
See, now you know.
Learned something.
Yeah.
I don't want her anymore
They
then.
did a Sports Illustrated body issue.
Okay.
I mean, you know,
I'm not well
You
read.
hold your hand over one side of the page so you don't see
Yeah.
him, but
I only read Shag, so
Shag Mag is it.
yeah.
We are lifetime subscribers.
Yeah. So
Okay, so that's your final answer.
yeah. I wanted to actually pick girls. I didn't want to
Okay.
go on record saying I wanted
Well,
to fuck
Airbud
Airbud.
is now our first animal answer, but that's okay.
And that's what I
It's a
figured.
fictitious animal. Let's move on to number 2, gluttony. Okay. You're hardly a fat guy. You're kind of skinny, and you're tall, of course, 6'7". What is your favorite pig out food?
Oh man, I like fruit snacks. Like I used to eat a lot of Gushers, a ton of Gushers. I get big into those. Other than that, I don't really know. Like I've been eating those pumpkin cookies a lot lately. They're
Well, it's
like,
pumpkin spice season.
yeah, I've been doing the pumpkin cookies a lot lately, and we got the first one from Publix, and I don't know if they're dog treats or something, but they were terrible. They were horrible. I was like, why are these crunchy? I was like, this is terrible. I was like, get me the goddamn soft
Dog
ones.
treats.
Yeah.
Do they taste a little bone mealy?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Tasted like salmon, but
So you're into candy and pumpkin spice stuff now.
pumpkin
seasonally.
pie stuff. Yeah. I like a good Slim Jim. Actually, that's probably more it. I'm like a beef jerky guy,
All right,
Slim
on.
Jim, as opposed to like cookies.
Publix does a good job with their beef jerky.
Yeah, they have a good jerky selection. I always like a good Slim Jim. It's just high quality meat. It's just
High quality grease.
yeah,
Okay, let's move on to number 3, greed.
great.
Besides money, okay, and it's in human nature to collect things. Even these people who live in like a Spartan house where they've got like 4 pieces of furniture and I don't have a TV, I don't own a TV. They've got something stacked up in the corner of their closet somewhere, and they have to have it. What is it that the one thing that you gotta have, that you gotta collect?
Oh, it's not something I necessarily have to have anymore, but I mean, I have a ton of like DVD and Blu-rays and like way more just because people kind of dump them on me because I watch a lot of movies. I have a decent amount of video games too. I would say like old school video games. Like I'll get like, because I got a Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. I bought one like maybe 6 or 7 years ago and would just like order like a bunch of games off of
Shit's
like
lucrative
Amazon.
now. It's like
Yeah.
a lucrative business now.
Yeah, the retro market, is huge now, and I would just order like these bundles of games just because nobody plays them anymore, and you could buy like 20 of them for like $40 or $50 on Amazon. So I have a bunch of those now.
Well, I'd say about 10 years ago, over at the Thunderbird Swap Shop. Have you ever been there? Have you ever had the pleasure?
I have not. It's one of the only swap shops I haven't been to.
It's quite a display.
Yeah.
The only place where you can get bootleg bundled video games
Ooh.
and actual real Cuban cigars. But the funniest was they used to have these little all-in-one video game controllers. It was like a regular an Xbox controller.
Oh, nice.
But it had a cartridge underneath.
Okay.
And it had the cracked bootleg version of like 15 games.
That sounds amazing.
15
All right.
like old like Nintendo and Sega games.
I have to go there. You guys send me that.
And for like $10.
All right, I'm into that.
Yeah, well, you gotta go searching around. They have video game and electronic kiosks and stuff. Then
All right, I get back on that.
make sure the guy has got some sort of a Middle Eastern accent. So that way, my friend, come look at this. I show you this video game. You like this Super Mario? So like, yeah. Why? What do you got? So check that out.
All right.
Okay, number 4. On to number 4. Sloth.
Okay.
Okay. People sometimes are inherently lazy. They really are. But what is it that you like to get out of that you don't like to do? Maybe that the wife nags you about. You're like, I'm not gonna. Oh yeah, I'll do it. No problem. I'll get to that.
I hate pumping gas. I don't know why, but I hate doing it. Like, I dread it. I normally just fill up with them there. And cleaning the bathroom, I have, like, no chores at the house. But, like, cleaning the bathroom's one of them. And, yeah, I do it maybe once a month, and it needs done. It needs done way more than that.
Yeah, I'm a little obsessive. I'll clean it as we go, and then once a month I have somebody come here and douche out the whole cage with like Fabuloso and Clorox.
Wow.
But I keep up around here. I do, because I mean, in spite of the cluttered green room, because I stripped the studio out, I try to keep a pretty clean house. But
it's clean in here. I'm not. I mean, my wife is. I'm trash person.
Straight out of Rick and Morty. Come here, you clean the bathroom, you little trash person. You stupid garbage person. Okay. Let's see. What was slot number 4? Wrath. Now, there's a caveat. Besides El Presidente, because I tend to get a lot of people here, the first person they want to rattle off is the president. Besides him, who in the world would you love to just have a free shot punch in the face at? They piss you off and you just want to punch them out.
One person that really comes to mind, and we were talking about sports earlier, would be Stephen A. Smith. I would love to punch Stephen A. Smith. I mean, I dislike him for so many reasons. I think, for one, he's a terrible sports journalist. Like, typically most of his predictions are wrong. Like, he's not good from a journalist's perspective. And, like, it's just, he always just takes the controversial side on things so he can stay relevant. Like, whatever most people kind of agree on, he takes the other side of it, and then he goes up, and it's funny because John Oliver kind of roasted him for it recently. Yeah. And he takes, like, these weird elongated pauses when he talks, and he has to yell every response that he has. Like, he's just terrible for so many reasons, and I don't know. I would like to punch him in the face.
And you know what? And I can kind of agree with that. He tends to inflect in the extremes.
Yeah.
You know, he'll go, "What are you crazy? What are you talking about?" And then he'll go, "Because everyone knows that the New York Knicks are horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. But the Dallas Cowboys."
Yeah.
That goes back that goes back to his old days with what's his face. The guy that he used to do First Take with, who moved on to NBC, Skip Bayless.
Okay. Because
Skip was a Cowboys guy.
Yeah.
And he went on, and let me tell you about the Dallas Cowboys. You know,
and that's not good, like, sports journalism.
Yeah.
Like, it's like shock. Yeah, it's like shock sports journalism.
Right. Well, and the big thing is people think he makes it interesting.
They don't. He makes me change the channel. Like, it does the opposite.
Yeah, because when I have my morning routine where I pop on the news channels, yes, even Fox, because you got to keep up with the crazy people too. But and I stay away from MSNBC because it just gets a little too crybaby weepy for me.
Yeah.
So I usually get my CNN, HLN, Fox. That pretty much covers the spectrum. You know, soccer moms, closeted Democrats, and the Fourth Reich. Then I will put ESPN, ESPN2, NFL Network. Pretty much that's it. I'll even go with the voice command, blah, 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 just fart them all out at one time. But if I see First Take on the menu, on the guide, I will pass.
Yeah.
I will go and check to see how long First Take is on before I'll move on.
Right. You want to get insight, that you don't know about, what's going on. Like, that's why, like, you're familiar with Bill Simmons, from
Bill Simmons is friggin' genius.
He is. And, like, why I always like Bill Simmons, even though he wasn't all that great on camera, like when he did his show on HBO.
Right. I loved that show.
It was okay when he was doing the interviews, but they tried to do like those skits, which were like
The
brutal. Those were awful. Those didn't belong there. But
You
like
needed better writers for the shtick.
100%, and like he doesn't quite have the personality to pull off like a comedy skit either.
If
Like
he would have gotten the Sklar brothers
Yeah.
to write for him,
that could have
the
worked.
Sklar brothers would have made that gold.
Yeah, but like no, I agree. Like his interviews on there were good, and like he did like the basketball book, which provides all these interesting kind of statistics and different ways to look at like how effective a player was. You don't necessarily see just from like points per game, rebounds per game, assists per games. Like he had kind of his own scale, I think I remember, for like effectiveness that he would go off of. He even like created his own statistic. I think it was Bill Simmons, which he called stocks, which is steals and blocks, which was kind of combined to see how good overall a defensive player was. Because, you know, like sometimes a good center would be considered a good center just because they had a lot of blocks, even if they weren't good at the other aspects of being a center,
Right.
you know, like staying in your lane, you know, like not drifting out too far, being able to move lateral, whatever.
Right.
But, and he was able to kind of do a better analysis of
Come
some
up
of
with
his athletes.
his own metrics.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. There's no doubt about it. Actually, kind of a big fan of Bill Simmons. Okay, so Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah,
we,
like
we
the
could
punch.
do sports, and people are already starting to go, oh, God, they're going to do sports.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a sports. You want to come on the sports desk, buddy? You are welcome to come on the sports desk. We'll turn that thing into a 2-hour exact. We do a lot of fantasy football on there right now because it's fantasy football season.
Right.
We chew it up. But okay, moving on to Envy.
Envy, okay.
Life swap. If you could trade places with anybody, if you could be anybody, I don't know, an hour, a day, permanently, who would it be?
Two that come to mind as far as comedians go would be one like Joe Rogan, because his lifestyle is like, I mean, half of what he does is, you know, like the podcast. Obviously, he spent the time, you know, to build that up to where it's as big as it is. But like, I mean, isn't that the dream, to just be able to drive, do your podcast, you know, make a ton of money off of that, and then just, you know, go home and do just shows around LA.
He shares his life on Instagram.
Yeah.
With him and Marshall running the hills, which, by the way, Joe, you can't run the hills right now because them bitches are on fire.
Hell yeah, yeah.
You know, but even then, he raises awareness about the fires.
He does.
Which, I mean, we're all aware of the fires now, trust me. But he does his bit for his community. He really does. I'm a big admirer of Joe Rogan, actually.
Right.
I mean,
a ton of access to DMT, which you know, who doesn't want to try that?
He's a sauna enthusiast.
Okay. I can be into
I like saunas. Saunas are great.
I've been in a few.
The only problem is like about the fourth time I got into using a sauna at my gym. This was a few years back. And they had a nice sauna. You know, it wasn't slimy, it wasn't freaky or anything, and not a lot of people used it, so I used it. And I overused it one time. I almost barfed.
Oh, okay.
It was like, I'm fine. The cool air won't.
Did you fall asleep?
No, I got sleepy, though.
Okay.
I did get sleepy, though.
Did you? I mean, I thought you were gonna say you saw an abundance of dong or whatever,
No.
and that's why.
No.
That's been my experience and why I don't go as much.
Yeah, no. You go to Turkish bath. Go to a Turkish bath.
All
All
I
right.
don't yearn to.
Yeah, this is just getting a little weird. Maybe we'll go back to sports.
Yeah.
Okay, so who would? So Joe Rogan or
Joe Rogan and Anthony Jeselnik. I'm a huge Anthony Jeselnik fan. He's one of my favorite comics, and
He's the darkest motherfucker on TV right now.
Right, and like, who would not want to be famous? Like, it'd just be so much fun to be able to do that type of material, because like I have dark stuff, and I'm so selective about shows that I'll use it with. You know, like stuff I've been writing for a long time, and stuff like sometimes when I use it will hit really hard. But, you know, in South Florida, you get so many crowds that are older, or you'll just kind of eye it up, or you have to work clean that show. And I just feel like
there's always a half a dozen idiots that are butthurt over the word fuck.
Right. And it's like, as an entertainer, you think like, what, they're paying me to go out and make these people laugh. Like, I'm just doing it for myself at that point, where like, you're paying me money to make them laugh, and I feel like they're not going to enjoy it. So like, it's just,
it's a professional ethic you have like that. You're giving me money. Okay. You want a clean show? I'll give you a clean show. But
and some people disagree with that method. They think, hey, your material is your material. You'll tell it wherever you go. I don't always look at it that way. I think like, this is the show you're giving me.
Part of being professional.
Right, exactly. Like,
you do it for the money.
Yeah, I am here to entertain this crowd. I do not think they will like those jokes.
Yeah, because believe me, my DJ gig, if we did what I like, then we're listening to Pantera and Black Label Society, and we're listening to classic rock, and we're listening to Deep Purple.
Yeah,
and I still sneak a few in every night, but you can believe if I play more than 2 Tool songs in a night, somebody's going to complain. Why? Because I don't do this for myself.
Yeah, you do it.
I do this for the money,
right?
And the conditions of doing it for the money are to entertain. So it's just, I sound like I'm lecturing young comics, but there are probably 2 or 3 that are watching that I can tell that right now, looking right at you in the camera. But, okay, moving on to our final question, pride. What is it that you are most proud of? Your finest accomplishment?
I'd have to say that I've never had a cavity. I think that is...
all those gushers and all that crappy, shitty, sugary shit you eat.
I think it's my biggest accomplishment. However, I have not been to a dentist in probably 6 or 7 years.
I hate you.
And my teeth hurt a lot. So I might have all cavities.
You have crazy cavities.
Yeah, it might be all cavities, but
you're just a masochist. That's
but
all.
It's my best credit. So like I can't really ruin it by going to the dentist. Like I'm doing all right for myself, but I don't have dentist money.
You're dentist undefeated.
Yeah. So
my mouth hurts, but I'm dentist undefeated.
Yeah.
Screw you, dentists. Yeah, no. My mouth turned into a nightmare. Probably about 1998.
Yeah.
And it's still a little bit of a nightmare. I got like the off-center tooth and whatnot, and straight out of a trailer park. I'm not on the camera when I'm talking about that. You're on the camera.
Yeah. I've had a lot of dental work done. I've had braces twice. I had a spacer. I've had teeth removed.
Oh, so you figure you're done. You've done your bit.
I put my time in.
I've done my part.
Yeah.
Right on. Okay, so you're proud that you've never had a cavity.
I never had a cavity.
Not reported and diagnosed.
Yeah,
Okay, no official cavities.
I've done other stuff in my life, but I feel like nothing represents me more than what might be clean teeth, but probably not.
All right. Well, that was painless. Was it okay with you? Was it good for you?
That was fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah,
I enjoyed
being here. Yeah, we're gonna.
Thank you for the nice things you said about me.
Well, I notice and I say nice things. If you sucked, I would probably tell you suck.
I appreciate that.
I tell people who suck you.
I can respect that.
I don't tell people who suck you suck. I tend to shy away from them. But if pressed, I will give honest, constructive criticism.
Okay.
If pressed. So
that's fair.
I'm not a complete ass kisser. All right. Well, on behalf of myself and Mr. Dan Long, say goodbye to the nice people. Mr. Dan Long, thank you for being on the show.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Would you like to shamelessly promote anything coming up? Any appearances?
Well, I guess for one, follow me on Instagram and Facebook, both Dan Long Comedy, and I do a show every other week at Level 2, part of the Buddha Sky Bar building in downtown Delray. And we have Sean Grant there on November 6th. So I'll be hosting. It's going to be a really fun show. We've been doing it for a few months. We had Pablo Francisco there a couple months ago. It's
Imagine
really
a world.
Yeah, there you go. He did that. Yeah, it's a really fun show. So come on out.
And that's at the Buddha Bar at the top of
L2, level 2.
Level 2.
At downtown Delray.
Oh, fancy. Oh, very, very hipsterish.
Yeah. It's we get a younger crowd there. We get a younger crowd than what I'm used to. We used to do a show at American Rock Bar for 4 years, which was an older crowd.
Right.
So this is a bit younger.
Oh, right on. And that's the 6th. That's on a
Wednesday.
It's
night. Every other Wednesday.
Why are all the really cool shows on nights I've got to work my regular job? I don't work very many nights per week, but it's always Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's always cool shows, and it's like, not that there aren't cool shows on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday night,
right?
But yes. I always missed. I want to go to a hipster show.
Yeah, that was the night they gave us. It was
right on. Oh no, hey, run with it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and on behalf of myself, thank you very much for watching. You, of course, can check me out on the social medias if you already haven't. On Instagram at Gonzo Radio Podcast and at Gonzo Radio Sports Desk. That's on Instagram. You can also catch the at Gonzo Radio Podcast 777 on Twitter. And then, of course, Gonzo Radio Show, Gonzo Radio Sports Desk, RUFKM, Double XL Lover Boys, all those groups. Go ahead and check them out on Facebook. Jump on there. Try to join. I'm the admin. I'll let you in. Just say Gonzo Radio sent you. So we will see you guys again next week, 8 o'clock. Sharp, I hope sharp as I can make it. And I believe we're going to have Angela Naka, who is a hilarious lady comic. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Yes, bye. Wait, come on. Show ender. Go. There. Hey. Okay. Bye.
For Gonzo Radio, this is Super Time 6000 2015 for Gonzo Television Station. You're coming to the greater Sandusky, Ohio area. This is Pirate Bill, and this is Frank Welker saying, watch Transformers.